Now, Matty B, I want to throw it to you. I know we have a Chainlink bull on the show today, but I want to know Matty B's opinions. What's your broad thoughts on Chainlink, and how do you feel about it for this next cycle?
Well, Chainlink is, to me, you take three kids, right? The youngest daughter was a pretty model, got a lot of attention. The oldest son was a great athlete, went into finance and became a hedge fund manager. And the middle child was just a number crunching Dungeons and Dragons nerd. And we'll call that Chainlink. And as the family grew and it splintered, they realized, holy shit, we kind of need Chainlink more than we need a model or a professional athlete. We should have rallied against Chainlink. And what you're seeing now is kind of the market discovering what some legacy analysts call a use case. And they're like, what? Maybe we should back something with an actual use case here. And as you can see, it just slightly tipped over Doge. And we all know Doge's use case.
Yeah, well, you can buy Dallas Maverick tickets. So, I mean, I guess there's that. A lot of people, some people are saying $1,000 Chainlink this year. I don't even know what I would do with my 3.7 Chainlink. OJ, you're shaking your head. Are you bullish or bearish on Chainlink hitting $100? And what's your thoughts for price action this cycle?
Yeah, 100, yes. But you said 1,000, I think. So that's why I was
1,000's
shaking.
a little high. Okay.
I am very bullish on Chainlink. It's in fact the biggest altcoin position I have after Ethereum. And I'm even right now gutted that I didn't swap some more of my Ethereum into Chainlink because I think it's going to outperform. I mean, it is the coin with the biggest use case. More than 2,000 projects are using its Oracle services. I've been saying this since last year that, you know, I'm really going in on Chainlink. Last year, I really loaded up. This year, a little bit in January, but I feel like I needed to feel more in my bag because it is a really strong coin. I mean, in terms of use case, this for me is the one with the biggest use case. Of course, Ethereum with, you know, all of the dApps and everything that's built on it. But we don't talk about Ethereum right now. I feel that Chainlink is the next big thing and it deserves to be in the top 5 for sure.
All right, in the top 5 for sure. Now, Matty B, I want to go back to you. Rusty Bot says, so Chainlink is the 40-year-old gamer that lives in the basement and takes care of the parents. Is that a fair assessment?
He owns the house, right? He lets his parents. Yeah, parents were just normal 9-to-5ers, right? So where are they going to go? The older brother's out of a job. The hedge fund went belly up. The younger daughter, she got older. She's not such a model anymore, right? So he's now the breadwinner for the family.
And we've seen what's happened with the Canadian rent prices, home prices. You know, it has. You know, we're kind of joking, but it has been a serious issue for a lot of Canucks here now. Army Piper, I know you're bullish on it, and I'll throw you a bullish question after this. But first, I want to know, not quite a bearish take, but, you know, maybe something that will ruffle the feathers of the Link Marines. Army Piper, don't worry, bullish question coming after this. Army, what's your exit strategy for Chainlink? Are you going to sell?
Of course. Nobody's ever gone broke taking profit. Look, the whole idea of getting into crypto for me was... it's going to have its parabolic moves, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Chainlink in itself is a very easy asset to trade. It tends to go in a nice little sideways range, and then when it breaks out, you take your run on it, and then when it gets up and starts going sideways again, you just scalp top to bottom again. It's literally what it did when it broke out of its chain back in out of its channel back in 21 October, and now it's back into another one that it just broke out of again. And once it starts to go into its sideways range, I'll be doing that. But look, at the end of the day, when the market is saying, "Hey, we're pretty much ran its course and this is about it," then, you know, take your profit. Even if it's 10% at a time, you do 10%, 10%, 10% every time you got a big green candle for the day. And when it starts to make lower lows, you get out of it and you save your money. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. Protect your investment. So my investment is the money that I put into it and all the profits that I made from it. I'm not trying to hold on and marry a token all the way to the bottom. So,
all right, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it at the end of the day. Army Piper, bullish question now. Link has a little bit of a network effect happening right now. Can you see that network effect ever being toppled? Is this going to be a top 3, potentially top 5 coin?
I think it absolutely will be. We've actually seen that Chainlink is picking up momentum, being used by Swift, stuff like that. I think that was back in August of last year. It's taken that Web2 data of exchange currency valuations and putting them onto Web3, which is essentially, Swift. That's what Swift does, right? Swift is moving money internationally. Chainlink is how they're going to get that real world data to do money transfers on the blockchain, which is way faster than the dead archaic system that we currently have. So, I think it's going to be good. I like Chainlink. I think it's got a lot of potential. It's really, in the world of oracles, the best. There's Pith out there, but it's not Chainlink. Let's be honest. So, no, I think it's got the potential to absolutely get up there to, fifth level, third level. In my current portfolio, it's my fifth largest bag. So, I'll take that.
All right. So maybe not as bullish on Pyth or Pith. I think, I'm not sure, I thought it was Pyth, but who knows? All right. So that are your thoughts. OJ, Matty, or do you have any exposure to the Solana Chainlink, which is Pyth? Any of you have any thoughts on that? Okay. Might be a sleeper. Go ahead, Matty.
Yeah, I do think it is a sleeper, but I look at Pyth or what is it, Pyth or Pith?
What do you call it?
Pith. I think
I did call it Pith, but then you said Pyth. I'm like, oh,
well,
shit,
I thought it was derived from Python because
okay. Let's go with it.
We just lost 20% of viewers by me doing that.
Pyth is the Canada, and the States is Chainlink, and that'll always be. So Chainlink will always rule supreme, but I think there is a space right on top of it, like Canada on the States, right? That it'll grow because Solana's growing so fast, and if everything's using that Oracle, well, it'll have its own growth as well, I think.
All right, so we got the America, we got the Canada, and folks, I'll give you the Guam of Oracle plays, and that's Cardano's, and it's like $3 million market cap. It's called Charlie C3. Do not invest in it expecting it to 30x. It's again, I literally think it's like a $3 million market cap. So be very, very careful treading in waters with sub $10 million market caps. But upside potential, I would say, is there. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin and its energy usage. Can I just share this headline real quick? Because there's more energy FUD. Large-scale crypto mining consumes 2% of U.S. electricity. That means for every 50 watts floating in the wires, one of those 50 is going to Bitcoin. This came from the Energy Information Agency. And they're saying crypto mining operations consume more than 2%. On the high end, it was around 2.3%. And it was saying at the start of 2020, it used to be up to 3%. And now this is leading to White House executive actions. The White House Council of Economic Advisors wrote, currently, crypto mining firms do not have to pay for the full cost they impose on others and the impacts of greenhouse gas emissions on the climates, maybe signaling a little bit of change from the Biden administration towards U.S. Bitcoin mining companies. Now, let's see. OJ, I want to ask you, because you might have an outsider perspective from this. Now, I'm biased as an American citizen. I just want to, I don't care how much energy it uses. Well, what are your thoughts of the criticism and of the 2% number? Does this seem like coordinated smear campaign, valid criticism, or are you coming somewhere in the middle?
I'm actually coming a little bit in the middle. I feel that, we've been seeing that campaign going on for years now, with the energy consumption. They were comparing it to countries like Denmark in Europe and all of that. I feel that on the one hand, because right now, governments are all about green energy and all of that. So there is a little bit of that. There is a little bit of the attack going on. But with this particular case, I feel that it's also just finding a way to tax it higher, because at the end of the article, they're talking about possibly imposing a 30% tax on it. So it's not about banning it or stopping it or, even trying to push people, to put people off. But it's more about finding a way now on what grounds can we actually collect more money. So I feel it's more to do with taxing it higher than anything else.
All right. Now, Army Piper, I want to ask you, you're no stranger to assault campaigns here. Will this assault campaign ever come to an end?
No, because it's rhetoric. There we go. How about the mute button? No, because it's rhetoric. And so I think that, as long as there's something out there for someone to bang the drum on and get a little bit of attention, they're going to continue on that path. The problem is enough people out there don't realize that literally the reason that our dollar was changed to the petrodollar is because it was the source of energy for production of goods. There was a in-state product that was based on the consumption of oil to produce it, create it, manufacture it, and ship it, that now has a valuation in itself. So they were invested in oil as a product of plastic, as a product of transportation of goods, so on and so forth. When people realize that the valuation of Bitcoin is based on the energy used to consume it or produce it or ship it, then they will get it more in line and understanding what actually backs the US dollar now and why Bitcoin is the future of backing and valuation in the future. So.
Yeah, and just to double click on that, if that was a little over anyone's heads, when you can make Bitcoin, it takes X amount of dollars in electricity. So if it cost you $40,000 in electricity to produce one Bitcoin, you might not want to sell at 16K. You might want to wait for, elevated prices there. All right, now, Piano Matty B, I want to ask you, is there a point in which it's too much? Right now they say 2%. Is there a number where if it reached this, you might have a little bit of pause? 99% of electricity, people's life machines are getting cut off. Yeah, that's too bad. What's your number where you feel a little hesitation?
Well, the thing with human beings, DZ, is that we're not good with numbers, so to speak. We have a hard time with the concept of time, and we don't understand exponential growth and how fast it can happen. So when it comes to numbers, the American miners use roughly 0.5% of the global energy, right? Now, here's a question for everyone that's on the panel today, including you, DZ. What uses 3% of global energy that no one's talking about?
Traditional banking system. Is it? Oh, guesses.
Army
Guess.
Piper?
Chat. Go ahead. Throw out a guess. Oh, wait a minute. I actually do know it. I want. Well, go ahead if you know the answer.
Is it the dryer?
Yeah. That's my guess too. No, not the dryer. I really thought dryers. OJ, do you have a guess? 3% of all energy.
Mining
globally.
Oil or say again?
The judges are asking, did they have three answers there or just one answer?
Well, go ahead. I'm reading the chat. No one knows yet. YouTube. I like that one. What do you got for us, Matty B? Is it gaming?
We're going to have to wait till the end of the show to reveal that, DZ.
Oh, man. All right. Well, is there a number in which you would say this feels a little high? I like it. All right. Well, we'll come back. We'll end the show with Matty B. Maybe he'll regale us with his tales.
You're going to love it.
3%. Go ahead, get your guesses in. Netflix. I don't mind that answer. Just watching movies. I can see that being up there. All right. Now let's talk.
Change my answer, DZ. I think it's paparazzi's cameras taking pictures of Taylor Swift this year.
Oh yeah, charging the flash bulbs. The power consumption there. That might be it too. All right, well let's move forward. We're going to talk about crypto mining stocks. We got Marathon, Digital, and Riot. Platforms are down. Looks like Marathon, their production is seeing a pretty large decrease from month over month, and Riot is seeing a decrease. We just share the screen here. Mara made 1,084 Bitcoin in January, but that was a 42% decrease from December, but it is an increase year over year. Riot 520 in January, and that also was a decrease from December, and also a decrease year over year. Both of those are way down. We're going to pull up the Fred or the share prices in a second. Fred Thiel, Marathon CEO, not Peter Thiel's brother. This is Fred Thiel, though. He said the team's working to address several temporary disruptions that negatively impacted our production. It included weather-related curtailment and equipment failures that led to site outages. Now, Matty, Marathon actually owns a Canadian power company. I mean, have there been some energy usage issues? I mean, does that sound normal, seeing 42% decrease? I mean, has weather been that bad?
No, it's actually been unseasonably warm, but you have to understand that our political system is more worried about getting tampons into male bathrooms, right? So until they get through that problem, because I mean, if there aren't tampons in male bathrooms, our government won't even move forward, right? So then you have the population that are wanting tampons in men's bathrooms, right? And so once that all gets taken care of, they may look at what's going on with the weather and Bitcoin mining. But until that happens, all bets are off.
All bets are off. All right, OJ Jordan, I pulled up some prices here. You can see Riot just today, it is down 7.76%, and Marathon is down 8.5%. But if I go to the 5-year, they're down even more. You see Marathon was flirting with the $80 range, now trading below $20, and Riot was flirting with the $75 range, now trading below $10. OJ, I'm looking at these numbers. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. They make Bitcoin. Is this a better opportunity than Bitcoin, in your opinion?
Doubt. I mean, I'm not really into mining stocks. I don't really follow them. But quite frankly, I feel that you're better off trading Bitcoin itself rather than investing in mining. And it's possible that more people are feeling like that. So that's why we're seeing that kind of decrease. The interest is obviously down, and that's the main thing. Do we have enough incentives for people to go into mining and to want to get mining stocks, or do we have more incentives to actually trade the Bitcoin itself? And I feel is the latter.
All right, it's going to be later. And someone's asking, what was the question again? That is going to be revealed at the end of the stream, just momentarily, about 5 minutes. Piano Matty B revealed something uses 3% of energy. What global is it?
Energy.
We got global energy. We got gaming, fridges, Christmas lights, air conditioning. So electric water heaters. We got some good guesses here. All right, now Army Piper, I want to know, what are your thoughts on mining stocks, on this narrative, on this trend? I mean, is there opportunity here, or would you rather just buy the orange coin?
I like a little bit of exposure to my mining. I mean, if you look at mining last year, last cycle, like for example, CleanSpark had like a 3,400 and some odd % run versus Bitcoin having like 2,100. So 2,100%. I mean, just 21x, no big deal. But I do like to play. I have CleanSpark stock, just so you're tracking. I have a little bit of MicroStrategies. They do tend to pump a lot higher, but I do believe that is because of the institutional availability of TradFi having access to it. I think that's how a lot of people that don't take the time to understand self-custody or centralized exchanges or any of that exposure, scared off by Celsius, Voyager, FTX. They look at Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin, like MicroStrategies, TradFi exposure to Bitcoin to be how they get their exposure. And historically, because of the amount of money that is in TradFi versus in the crypto finance world, there is a ton more money that is able to flow into those, and they typically do better than the Bitcoin run. So I do have exposure to those, but with us now having Bitcoin ETFs, for that exposure, I'm kind of curious on how much of that slows down on the mining side and on MicroStrategy side, and people getting their exposure that don't want to risk the scary world of crypto going through now the ETFs like BlackRock, Fidelity, so on and so forth.
Well, you want to know a little alpha here, Army Piper. Marathon Digital, and Riot Blockchain, the largest shareholder for each of those companies. BlackRock. Not kidding. You can look it up, folks. So, they're controlling a lot of aspects vertically of Bitcoin. Now, Piano Matty B, I want you to talk me off the ledge here. I put up the log chart because otherwise it's just too dang juicy. This is Marathon. I just, nothing personal. This is just the largest of the Bitcoin mining stocks here. You can see where there's a dip right before the halving. I mean, if we pull it from the top end of the dip, not even coming in from the low, but if we pull it from the top end of the dip, and we just catch the first top, not the second top, but we catch the first top. Let's see, 250 days, 10,000% pump for Marathon there. You know what? That's too bullish. That is too bullish. We'll do the level before, and that would be right here. You're still looking at a 3,800% pump. You're looking at a 40x. I mean, am I too bullish on these stocks here? I mean, we're pre-halving, we're in a dip, we're way down from all-time highs. I do think post-halving, Bitcoin's going to see a surge. What are your thoughts, like TA-wise, price-wise, on Bitcoin mining stocks?
You're never too bullish, DZ. You have to be delusionally bullish, especially now. And you have to think of that. Let's take another 40x, right? I believe right now we're at the knees of the 40x, right? So there's a chance where we'll still go a little bit down, but it'll come up, it'll catch those knees, and you'll go up and you'll catch that upside, right? So there's, what do you want to be? 1 day late or 200 days early?
You know what? And to that point, I pulled up from the dip here. This was January of last year. Okay, bear market bottom, essentially. And if you count the top, that's still 700. That's an 8x. We're looking at an 8, almost 9x right there. Even at current levels, you're still looking at a 5x. So still maybe, like to Matty's point, you wouldn't be catching it from the bottom if you buy today. So don't expect a 40x or, any kind of astronomical numbers right there. I'm going to ask everybody the same question here. Piano Matty B, what is Bitcoin mining going to look like when rewards are less than a quarter Bitcoin? For those wondering, we're going from 6 to 3, 1.7. What does it look like 3 cycles from now? Half Bitcoin rewards. Will anyone even care about Bitcoin mining?
That's a good question, because I've passed it around. Some of my Bitcoin friends are like, well, let's go 8 cycles. Let's go 8 cycles. Is I don't have the right answer for it. Like what happens to motivation and what keeps people in the game? What is the price? Is it going to be worth it? What comes into play that gives them more rewards, right? I don't know. I honestly don't have the answer for that. It's a great question.
OJ, we share my screen real quick. Let's just go a few cycles right now. 6.25. We're about to have a halving. The 3 1/4. Really, you're going to make me do it each time here? All right, one more, and then we do one more cycle. What is a 0.4 Bitcoin reward? I mean, due to the market, are the fluctuations dead at this point, OJ Jordan?
Right, but look, you're forgetting that a lot of the money is made through fees. And Bitcoin price is also going higher with every cycle. So we're not going to be talking about Bitcoin at 40,000 at that point. You went 4 cycles. So what's that for 16 years from now? 16 years from now, where is Bitcoin? In the hundreds of thousands, I guess, or at least I hope. So we're not really looking at Bitcoin mining itself at this point. We're looking at fees as well. And of course, we're going to have probably far more utility for Lightning Network and other, layer 2s and everything. So it's not going to be all of the transactions are not going to be directly on the network. But I feel that with mass adoption, which we are entering, with more and more people starting to use Bitcoin and everything, we're going to look at far more transactions, and they will be making the profit from transaction fees. I mean, profit from transaction fees currently is on par with the profit from the Bitcoin rewards itself.
Yeah, good point there. Now, 2140, you're saying, well, what keeps it alive? It would be the fees, keeping it alive, even when there's zero rewards at this point. All right, Army Piper, we're going to wrap it up with this question, throw to Matty B for the final revealed answer here. 16 years, the year 2040. Me and you both have hair implants. What is Bitcoin's price? What is Chainlink's price in 2040? And I know this is moon math here. What's your best guess?
Well, if we go off of Giovanni's power law, what he was talking about, I mean, you're looking at like $1 million Bitcoin in the next by 2029. I think that was he was talking about there. So that far out. I'm so rich, I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. And my Chainlink hat is turned into a Richard Hart Chainlink outfit made by Gucci. So
no, that's a hat. If you wear, you get hunted in the streets because they'll say, "I heard that guy has one whole link. Get him." Who knows?
No, I mean, it's moon math, but I mean, I do believe that the system is in place for Bitcoin to break $1 million in the next 10 years. So at that point, back to the mining question, just to touch on that. At that point, the fees that they're making off of that, and the fractional percentage in fees, and what they're getting from mining a blockchain of Bitcoin. I think that it's going to be more than enough to keep them interested in doing their job. So.
All right, Shake and Bake with a good addition here. Marathon had dilution twice last year, so it looks like they increased the amount of shares floating right there. A lot of disruption in different sectors. Just Jim Iagon getting into healthcare. D-Pin looking big. Let's see. There's one more. Oh yeah, Pitton. Does he do pig pittance? That's the question here. A quarter of a Bitcoin when it's $1 million isn't too shabby. I would agree with that. 0.4, 0.2. You're looking at $1 million Bitcoin, $2 million Bitcoin. Still pretty hefty rewards right there. But folks, that is all we have time for. Please, I hope you hit that like button on the way out. Really helps us get this channel out there and help support the content creators. They gave us their most valuable asset, which is time. So we really, really appreciative. So I'd be really appreciative if you went and you followed their content. Make sure you follow all their socials there. But Piano Matty B, I guess he's going to end us and give us a secret answer. Piano Matty B, I'll just let you close the show out. Regale us with your wisdom here.
Well, the American miners, which the U.S. government has their panties in a bunch about, has 0.5% of the global energy. But the answer to what has actually 3.5% of the global energy use is, drumroll, DZ. Roll. That's just a couple hits. There you go, OJ. Thanks. Internet porn.
What?
The usage of computers around the world via internet porn is 3.5% of the global energy use.
Well, that probably explains why you don't see that on headlines. All right, well, that's all we got. And on that note, use that energy and invest in yourself. Research crypto. Don't sin, folks. That's all we got. Until next time.